Lance Tormey, Dave Edel, Jacksonian, and Mike Johnson, Union
Mike
Gospel
Johnson.
Mission. Good morning,
It's so
sir.
great to be here with you guys in the studio and everything, like
yeah.
real and in person. Oh my gosh.
Rather than
Man.
texts at the 9 o'clock at night, bringing up your most horrific moments in life. What was that about?
Well, so the readers should understand that.
We call them listeners around here. Mike.
Okay, sorry. The listeners should understand. Forgive me. That Dave's sister-in-law is the director of our thrift operations at the mission, and just a
Shannon
really
Love.
neat lady.
Shannon
And
Love. Oh, cool. Yeah.
And we were just at her house Friday night hanging out, and she was telling me this story about Dave at Skateland that involved compound fractures and some things like that. And so I texted Dave and said, "Hey, we should go double date sometime. You and your wife and me and my wife, we should go to Skateland."
Yeah.
And I hear you're really great at it. And
Yeah, that was the part that hurt the most.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I still
Just
visions
go to
of
Skateland
bones.
and stop and stay at the snack bar.
I'll just
right there,
well.
that's
So
it.
what I was thinking is that since the mission operates the largest free clinic and medical clinic in Washington State, I could just bring along some medical personnel this time and just sort of save a few steps. That way we wouldn't need an ambulance.
That's very thoughtful,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do thoughtful things.
Thoughtful is good.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. I really got a kick out of that. I'm glad you did it. And Shannon is fantastic. She has a passion for this and a heart for this, and she's all in, man.
Well, so what she said is sort of what I feel like too, is that there's this just really neat way in which God has allowed working at the mission to bring together all the threads of my life, right, into this one thing where I get to do what I already love to do, and I like to think I'm sort of halfway decent at, and it makes a difference, and God is just so kind. And so when I tapped Shannon to ask her to please, run the new store on Lincoln when we were opening that one. She said, "Really? I've not done thrift before." And I said, "Oh, but Shannon, you've run businesses. You've got this amazing aesthetic. You've got this great customer service. You're going to do great. You get it." And she has so now those two stores, that second store, and then we overhauled the Lighthouse one, which is in our original mission location.
Fantastic.
Those two stores are now completely covering the entire missions, all of the mission, all of our administrative overhead costs.
Are you hearing that, Yakima? I mean, that's so important. I think really, man, can't stress that enough.
Yeah, so and typically a healthy nonprofit, you're going to see about 80% of donated dollars go to the clients and programs, about 10% to fundraising, 10% to administration, and that 10% goes to administration. We're now covering with the work at the thrift stores.
That's awesome.
And so I have so many thanks I have to give to Autumn Bernier and Shannon and on the thrift managers. They're just such a great team. The original Lighthouse location down there is just doing amazing.
You're getting fantastic
more than ever has
donations
before.
in. That's part of it. You're really getting some quality stuff. People aren't just dumping ground. People are shopping there because it's a trendy thing right now, for one, but you got great items.
Well, so the community has supported the mission beautifully for 85 years. And I would want everybody to know that the first thing that happens with those donated items, the first thing that happens is that the thrift teams ensure that all of the requests from the programs get filled. And so the programs, the family shelter, they're letting the thrift people know when they've got a family that's moving up and moving out, which is happening all the time. Hey, we need pots and pans, we need towels, we need all these things, right? And so the first thing that happens is that the requisitions essentially get filled.
Yeah.
And then then the rest gets to be put on the store, And so the cool thing is that sometimes the stuff they're rotating off the floor because that just isn't it's like not the right season or whatever, or it wasn't an item somebody wanted to buy. Sometimes that can help fill a requisition too. And so it's just this constant ongoing partnership between the stores and the missions programs, making sure that everybody's needs get met. And the only thing that gets sold on the floor is stuff we didn't need to meet, down at the mission. And so,
Great stuff. Great philosophy.
Yeah, it's just win-win-win.
Did you bring this idea from Tacoma? I mean, what role did the Lighthouse, I guess, play in funding before you came?
Well, so Debbie Jones and Debbie and Renard Jones was a wonderful couple in town. Renard used to be on our board, and his wife Debbie went to Rick Phillips and said, "Hey, you guys moved into that place on North First. You're sort of just storing stuff now down in the original Front Street location. Let me turn it into a thrift store." And so when I got here, that store was generating about $42,000 back into the mission to help run programs. It's now generating something more like $200,000 back into the mission to help cover all of our admin, and then so the two stores put together, they're just doing really great. And
so in other words, what this basically means is that when I give my money, you're not taking it to pay your salary.
Not $1 of my paycheck is now paid for out of donated dollars. It's all done through self-earned revenue out of the thrift stores.
Yay!
It's really wonderful.
It is.
It's
It's
just
wonderful.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And so we're really excited about Summit Thrift. It's gone a little slower than we'd wanted, and we got at it about a month later than we'd wanted to get at it, just because lease negotiations took a while. But we're really hoping that Summit Thrift, which is about the size of the other two stores put together.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, yeah. And that it can get us as close to 100% as possible of donated dollars going straight to the clients, because we don't need them to cover up fundraising costs either. So
fantastic.
Yeah, because the needs, they're greater than ever, right? And we're doing more than ever. We used to only go out on street outreach one night a week, and we're going out about 4. We're trying to go all the way to 6 or 7. We really, really are trying to step up the work we're doing with unsheltered homeless folks and getting them in.
And you're cleaning up that store. Thanks for for filling it. I hope they get the windows. I know it just has been a dirty, closed place for so long. It'll be so nice to see it come back to life.
Well, that's what God does with our clients every day, right? He takes he takes these folks that are really run down and maybe empty on the inside and aren't really sure what they're doing and aren't necessarily achieving anything, and he cleans them up and he turns them around, and then they're doing great, and some of those folks work at the thrift stores actually now.
That's awesome.
So it is really beautiful to see the way God's using the thrift stuff to support the mission and also create jobs for our graduates and take old eyesores like that Rite Aid building that was, oh my gosh, when I first got in there, I was like, I looked at Shannon and I said, really, this thing is as messed up as Dave Edel on the floor of Skateland.
Yeah, and that's where it all started. So, yeah. Well, you guys, having seen and when the lighthouse was being refurbished, yes, score, nice. Payback is, what's that word? Not pleasant. So stand by, sir. Stand by. But the point is that having watched them refurbish the lighthouse and knowing the amazing work that was done there, I just know the people and how they roll, and this thing is going to be fantastic. And there's an awful lot of folks in the whole West Valley area that this will be a convenient place for them to shop and to donate. Are they going to be able to donate at that location?
Yeah.
They can now. They can now, right?
It's going to be fantastic.
I got to tell you, like, the most exciting thing for the 2.5 years I've been running this mission, the most exciting thing has been seeing the incredible people that God has been bringing to me to get to work at the mission. And so Shannon's a great example. Autumn's a great example. The programs are being led by just some amazing people right now. In the last 8 months, we've served 73,000 meals, over 5,200 patient office visits at that clinic. The outreach team has brought 26 people off the streets. There's 26 fewer people out on that streets in Yak. Now, some other people come in and take their place, right? But because we've got this amazing people to get out there and actually convince them to come in. There's 74 people in our shelter so far this year who have said just being in our shelter is sustaining their sobriety. That's amazing. The team that God has been giving me is just some incredible people.
Well, he knows you, and he knows that we better get some incredible people around this guy. He'll just make bad Dave Edel jokes.
Oh man, ain't that the truth? He knew I need a lot of help. Is that what's going on? Oh,
Exactly.
he is. And the incredible thing about God is he sees how messed up I am, and he still loves me.
I know. That's amazing.
That's my line. What are you talking about?
It's all of our lines, brother. It's all of our lines. That's the greatness of God.
Yeah.
Hey, you're doing work around the store too. I noticed that you pulled out some. So you're
trying.
cleaning up?
So we're trying to get some
up the whole thing.
visibility,
Cool.
and we'd love to get a better sign in there too. It's a great location, but it is sort of not immediately visible as well
Right.
from the street.
Right.
And so we're wanting to get it all spruced up. The landlords are putting tons of money into. They're trying to fix it up as well
Good.
because they haven't had anybody in there forever,
Yeah.
and they're excited to get it used as well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for giving us a time to talk with the listeners about this morning. So the store can take donations right now 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and that's helping get it filled up and ready to go. Right?
Do we have estimated doors open? Let's shop.
We're looking for May 1st.
May 1st.
Yep, we were originally looking for April 1st, and then it just everything Everything,
Just say
nothing ever
COVID.
takes as fast as I thought that it would.
COVID.
Well, it wasn't actually. It was just there was some it's very important for us, and thrift is, I think, is a good example of this. It's very important for us to be the best possible stewards that we can be of the resources that God in this community has entrusted to us.
Right
and
on.
so we were driving hard on the lease, trying to make sure that we were doing the best job we could do with that. And Autumn is a great business person, and it's amazing to have your businessy and stuff, being run by somebody, for 11 years at Allen Brothers with that much experience on business. And this community creates really great people, and so we're the money that we the deal that we made sure that we drove towards on the thrift store was waiting 1 month. It was worth it because we've got to do the best that we can with what we've got.
I think somebody caller on the line that wants to check in.
Is it the manager of Skateland?
It's Lynn.
I'd like to let you know that you've become my favorite charity for donating things to, because you're such great stewards of what's donated. One of the things that was frustrating with a lot of the thrift shops is like nice art pieces or decorative items. Oftentimes we're just thrown in a bin where they get all scratched up, and your people do a nice job of displaying them well. And things like couches are, I've seen in the summertime when they start to get a bunch of them, some of the older ones that are still in really good shape are set out front and priced really reasonably. So those in dire need of those furnishings can get a hold of them at a reasonable price. And so I've been really impressed with the way that they operate their stores.
Oh, thank you so much. We're starting this new thing as well, where when somebody comes and drops off some donations, we'll ask them if they're a member of a church. Then we keep track of that stuff, and then we end up giving back to the church some gift cards that are worth about 10 or 15% of the value of the stuff that they've donated, and then the church is able to give folks in need those gift cards to be able to come and shop at the stores as well, so that they can get their needs met that way. And so this team has just come up with some of the neatest ways to make sure that we are trying to be the best possible stewards with what this community has entrusted to us. So thank you for that encouragement. I really appreciate it.
And Lynn, I'll be offering roller skate lessons out of the store on some of you as well later on. So this summer.
We have not yet gotten donated roller skates, but we have, Dave, gotten some donated crutches from time to time. And so,
get out of here. That's some good stuff, man. You guys are just the synergy and the people and everything coming together. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Mike Johnson, good on you, man. And Yakima's going to be the better for it on all angles.
Look, people have no idea what a great place this is to live. I can't believe for 20 years I lived in that other wetter place, and all I knew about this valley was what I read on the news or saw from the freeway as I drove by. I had no idea this is the best place in the state to live, and the state is certainly one of the best state in America. I mean, this is the best place in the United States. I've been to all 50 states, and I'll admit that Hawaii has a lot going for it. Yeah. So let's just say in the continental United States, this is just the greatest place, man. This is a great community, and so it shows in the way that they look out for each other and how they make these kinds of stores happen. And so thank you.
Good stuff.
Outstanding. All right.